Joining us now is the administrator of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, Ann Milgram. Ann, good morning to you. Thanks so much for your time this morning.
Good morning.
It's an investigation that clearly spanned months. What else did you find over the course of that complex investigation? What more can you tell us?
Well, what I think is really important to focus on is that we've now charged the 5 individuals that we believe are responsible for Matthew Perry's death, going from unscrupulous doctors to street dealers of ketamine, and just a tragic arc from doctors' offices to the street that we see all too often with people who have substance use disorder.
So we do know that at one point, Perry was being treated with ketamine for anxiety and depression. At some point, it crossed the line into substance abuse, into addiction even. Do we know when that happened?
What we know is that he started receiving treatment for anxiety and depression. And at some point, he needed or wanted a higher dosage that the doctors would not provide. So at that point, he sought out other doctors. And it's part of the tragedy of this case that doctors are in a position of authority and trust, and these 2 doctors violated that. They saw him as a payday, and they saw it as an opportunity for them to make a lot of money. And so it doesn't matter, and this is an important message in the United States, it doesn't matter if you're wearing a doctor's coat or you're a member of a cartel, or you're a drug dealer on the street. We're going to hold you accountable if you're selling drugs and hurting Americans.
Let's talk about that cartel for a moment, because the indictment does list a separate 2019 ketamine death that's tied to this woman named Jasveen Sangha, who's known as the ketamine queen. The DEA mentioned that they found a drug emporium when they searched this place. We're talking dozens of vials of ketamine, a bunch of pills. Any idea how vast this network is? Any idea how she was allowed to go undetected for so long?
So what we know is that when we did the search warrant earlier this year, remember this Matthew Perry's death was last fall, and then we did a search warrant earlier this year, and she was still running a drug emporium. There were 79 vials of ketamine, more than 1,000 pills that are essentially methamphetamine.
Yeah.
So she was a significant drug trafficker. And again, we also have now been able to connect her sale of ketamine to an individual, Cody McGlory, who died in 2019. So she's a significant source of supply in Los Angeles. And again, Matthew Perry got to her after starting with the unscrupulous doctors and then turning to the street.
So presumably this is going to lead to more arrests.
So the investigation is ongoing. What I can tell you is we believe that we've charged the individuals who are together responsible for Matthew Perry's death.
Really quickly, Ann, before I let you go, justice for Matthew Perry's family, any modicum of that, of course, welcome. What would you say to all of the families out there who have lost loved ones to addiction and substance abuse, and the dealers are never prosecuted? They're never, typically not even found, much less convicted. What would you say to those families who are watching and listening?
So I would disagree a little bit that the dealers are never found or convicted.
Really?
Since 2018, we've run an initiative that 2 years ago we spread nationwide called Overdose Justice, where we work with local police departments and will help investigate any case where an individual has died, because we understand that so often it's not an accident, it is a homicide. And so to all the victims, we do this work to honor the lives that are lost, to seek justice for the families, and to stop others from dying.
So the resources here weren't just because Matthew Perry was rich and famous.
We have 500 cases since 2023 into investigations just like this. Any police department in America who wants our help can call us.
DEA Administrator Ann Milgram. Ann, thank you. Thanks so much. Have a good weekend.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.